Hello, Requin87 here, and welcome to Let's Try The Wandering Village. So this is an upcoming city builder by Stray Fawn Games. It's going to be dropping onto Steam at some point later in 2022, but before then it is also going to be part of the Steam Next Fest, so you can get your hands on a demo from the 21st to the 28th of February, and the kind people over at Stray Fawn Games have given us a little bit of an earlier access so we can have a play around with it and get some content out to you lovely people. As ever, if you see this kind of game and you like it, then do jump on Steam, stick it on your wishlist. It helps the devs out immensely. As I said, you'll get your hands on the demo in probably just over a few days or so. And if you're really super keen to get involved, then if you do jump on their Discord server, you can apply to sign up to their closed betas. And if you're lucky enough to get in, you can play around with the new features as and when they are added. So, all of that preamble done, let's jump into the game and have a look. I've had about an hour or so with the game thus far, and my first little attempt ended up in a horrible toxic pit of death, so maybe, if we're lucky, we can avoid it this time. Let's go for a new game. There's a little bit of an intro, and I'll let you play that. Let's call this Wee Blue Pixels. Let's go.
Driven from our homes by the toxic spores, we kept wandering, looking for shelter. But not in our wildest dreams did we imagine what we would find.
So there we go. So what makes this stand out from other city builders, might you ask? Well, the fact is, you get to have yourselves this little city. Here we go, fairly standard. We've got a grass, we've got ground, woods, trees, all that cool stuff. Except it's all on the back of a giant creature, which they call onboos. And there's a huge part of the game is how you interact with your onboo. And you now have kind of two failure modes. One is all your people die, the other one is also your onboo dies. And I really like this different aspect. Also, it looks pretty phenomenal, doesn't it? And who doesn't want to live on top of a giant creature? So let's concentrate on the city view for a start with. Here's our little people. It's all very kind of basic stuff. Some resources up the top left. You've got to keep them fed, clothed, in houses, and unsick. And we'll start with some fairly basic resource gathering. So we can just mash our gathering key like so and say, hey, why don't you get me some wood and get me some food? We're going to put down a couple of buildings to get things kicked off. We're going to want... I'm actually going to put down the research building first, which is a bold move, but I do like to get the research going. It helps out immensely. We're then going to want some storage places. Yeah, we're just going to plop things down the middle. We want a worker post to help split people up. And then we're probably going to want some food of some description. So in terms of our initial edibles, we can go down farming or we can go down berry gathering. Why don't we drop berry gatherer somewhere where there's, well, lots of berries, really. You'd get... Only thing, so there's an efficiency of a berry gatherer depending on how many berries are nearby. It doesn't tell you what that is before you place it. Should be a nice little thing that you can add at some point. Let's do something like... I don't know, this feels like a lot of berries. There we go. We'll do that, and then we'll maybe stick a farm down as well. The only problem with the farm is it does use water, which we can talk about later. Why don't I put my farm down... I don't know, just here's fine. So, things of note. This is different. This layout is different from the last time I played, so it looks like there's a little bit of procedural generation, so I'll add a little bit of variety, and no doubt things will change. Right, we've got 1 million buildings queued up. You guys just go and do that. While they're doing that, we can talk about the rest of the screen. So, we have up here, obviously, research, which we'll get when we've got researcher, and even at this early stage, there's a healthy amount of research on the go. Some of it is locked, but there's a lot of it is available. And it does have this very handy thing where the game recommends what it thinks you should be researching next. So in this instance it says, hey, why don't you guys get yourself a kitchen? So we can do that. Now obviously we don't have a researcher built yet, so no one's going to be researching. Then we have our biome details. So we're currently in the mountains. So if we jump out, there's 3 map modes. There's this close-in city one. There's our beautiful onboo. And then there's the overworld. So this pink area denotes mountains, and that's the biome we're currently in. And if we hover over here or click on it, we can see that it's cold, normal humidity, but there's no current toxicity, which is good. as you saw from the intro, the world is apparently a bit of a toxic hellhole, and we will indeed move and travel and encounter elements of that toxic hellhole, and that's going to cause us problems with our kind of day-to-day living. One thing, a couple of things. First, I really like the art. It's a really nice blend of a kind of, I would say, almost like more traditional city builder type kind of art pieces with this kind of almost like paper cutout 2D frames for the buildings and the people. But the way they kind of obviously tilt as you zoom in and out, I think it really gives a nice kind of feeling of depth and like being alive. The animations are nice as well. However, one thing, and it's like the attention to detail stuff is always what really kind of makes or breaks it. You see, if you look in the background here, you will see we are very slowly rising up and down as our Onbu breathe, and it's just like little details of that. It's like, brilliant, love it. Okay, we're gathering our resources. We haven't built a farm, we haven't built our berries, so we'll let them keep going with that. We will maybe throw down a road for our people to live on, but build upon, and we'll let them crack on with that. But we now have some researchers involved, and they're going to be researching, so it's going to take us, I think it was a day or so to get the first building, which is a kitchen, so we can turn some of our raw food into real food. We would probably also quite like a pantry. Let's just stick him there. And a water tank. And I would also like some air wells, so we can fill up said water tank. We're going to have some fields there. We can put our air wells here. Let's see, I don't know, 2 of them, and I'll do the classic Civ element of overbuilding massively. We can see we are out of wood. Early on, I do find you go through a heck of a lot of trees, but it's okay, because they re-go, so that's nice. So please, yeah, just collect all the things. Let's just do for a bit of a... and we can collect some of these berries. Quick check which ones are in your radius, not this one. So you can go and get harvested, like so. Beautiful. You don't want to harvest the berries that are in the radius of this thing, as that will hurt its efficiency. And off go the people. So it is I think, a tricky game to get balanced as you get into it. Like, say, the first one I had failed spectacularly, and I find people is really valuable here, so it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on to see if we can't embiggen ourselves. There's a nice little summary here of just food and where you're trending. Trends are always useful in games like this, so you can see what you're running out of. And there's obviously kind of speed controls and stuff, so let's kick up to, say, level 2. Oh, actually, while we're doing that, obviously you see in this top right here is our Onbu itself. So you've got, obviously, its health in the big red. If that goes to 0, GG. And then you've got a couple of meters of sleepiness, hunger, and poison. And as you progress in the game, you get ways of affecting all these. So you can kind of command your Onbu and ask him to do things. What's a really interesting system in this is if we go into our research, you can see we have this hornblower. It's how we command it, but it doesn't necessarily listen to you. There's like a trust mechanic with your creature, and depending on what you do, will determine if he listens to you or not. And in fact, let's go back to this research, because there's things in here, like you can pet him, right? Increase trust, fair enough. You can heal him and all sorts, but there's also things in here like this blood extractor. So this will take blood as a food resource, so you can turn it into food. But it hurts trust. So you've got this really interesting choice of saying, am I going to form a kind of symbiotic relationship with my Onbu, where we're kind of living for, complete beneficiary, or am I going to actually evolve into kind of like a parasitic relationship with my Onbu, where I'm not going to kill it, but I'm going to, take its life force and its sustenance to sustain myself. And obviously, it might not trust me, but maybe I don't need its trust. Right, we're currently growing beets, so we need to put out some farms. We can grow ourselves a nice field. See there, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 30 tiles. I can't remember. Let's give them. Let's go for that. See if you can go 30 tiles. The area in which you can farm far exceeds the ability of your people to farm. Oh, but we could think about making them slightly more effective. Let's just notice on this, throwing down some tents. So 2 villagers, so I would need 8 tents. Tents obviously are rubbish, but they're better than nothing. Let's just do that. You will get houses and things later, but a little tent city will get us going for now. Some roads around it, there we go. Little shanty town. That's going to take all the wood in the world, so get chopping, lads. And you can kind of like, let's say, we'll clear out certain areas and we'll let these more denser areas kind of continue to grow and repopulate. There is also, you can see these big chunks which have a large number of resources in them, and you can access these nodes through the tech tree later on. You kind of get sawmills and quarries and stuff. But the first thing we want to do is, is that one of our researchers? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I love the cool little kind of graphics change there. I really do like the graphics. They're like super simple, but it's really effectively done. And just the way, just the minor detail about how they kind of tilt their angle when they stand up works really well. Right. We are wood shy people at the minute. Let's just do some of that. Lots and lots of resources keep our busy people busy forever and a day. We have 0 idlers, and it's going to stay that for quite some time. We are going to want to build a kitchen when it comes up, so we can turn our beets into food and our berries into food. It does make them slightly more efficient if you're doing it that way. Alright, maybe let's kill up time while we're waiting for that. And once our Ombu wakes up, we can go have a look at the world map and see where and when we are heading. Oh! Up he gets, and off we go! How cool is that? I love it. I love it. Not just because it's a nice little, like, you know, USP in terms of different, but the fact that you do have really good interaction on. Okay, so we're off. So if we look at our world map now, we're starting to travel. And as you get along here, there will be certain nodes and events, either kind of food for your Ombu, sleeping spots for your Ombu, nomads we can pick up, and poison clouds, which we go through and do horrible, horrible things to us. We will look at those as and when we get to them. We can also visit the nearby things on the map to get resources, get more people, but for that we need a scavenging station, which is where I think we'll go after we've got our doctor set up. Although at some point we're going to move from wood and stone to planks and slabs, I think they're called. It's going to make life a bit more difficult. That's not really, it's just an extra part of the production chain we're going to need. I'm tempted to build another water tank, just because I'm really paranoid about, well, about running out of water, to be perfectly honest. When we're not in our glorious mountains. Our glorious mountains. We're not in mountains. Ah, finished research. So this is, I really like the fact this. Research done, big loud pop-up, what would you like to do next? And a suggestion, you know, even saying, hey, what about this? So it wants us to do a herbalist. Herbs used obviously for medicine, which both for us and for our Ombu. So I say, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get down to a doctor about as quickly as I can. I'm okay with that. I'll put a new material storage there, I think. Stick one there and one, sure, one there. And with that, I was going to put a new water tank in there, which I will do eventually. We're still massively wood shy, so we'll keep our people at our super, super busy people. Food's dropping, but that's okay. Some tents are building, so tents will make our people slightly more efficient. And, oh, that's nice, gives them a little bit of poison resistance as well. Poison is very much the enemy. Right, let's kick the speed up a little bit as we progress. With that depot, and we'll build a new one. Just first get our first water collector, that's nice. That will automatically fill up our water tank. Let's plop down another one of them. Up to 200 water stored, and that'll do us for a nice while. I certainly don't have a firm grasp of exactly how many tanks kind of you need per farms and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like these guys are going to manage 30 tiles and then some. So let's maybe expand the area you have to grow in. Let's give you another 20 over here. We'll see. We'll see how far they get before they start harvesting this bad boy. Although his growth is less right now because we're in non-ideal climates. So once you're chatting your Ombu, you can tell him where to go. So we haven't got to one yet, but eventually you'll see forks in the road. So at some point we're going to get some nomads. Which would be nice, a few extra people. We researched the kitchen. Let us build a kitchen. Let us not put it over a berry bush. Build a kitchen somewhere central, I think. Here seems like a nice spot for a kitchen. Ah, here we go. You need planks and slabs. So to build our kitchen, we're gonna have to start on our building resourcey chain stuff. Let's do carpenter there and a stone cutter here, and we'll build some paths to them. We're very soon going to find out we don't have enough people to do anything. Right, herbalist done. Beautiful. Next up, village doctor. I'm going to say yes, please. So herbalist just needs good old stones and wood. That's the other thing. We can put it across the road from the berry bush. Now we are out of wood yet again, so let's go harvest some more trees. And we'll chop these ones down. There we go. Hey, we got a group of nomads. Excellent. So we're up to 20 people now. Lovely jubbly. And they can go straight to work because we're busy old people. Wow, you have you guys have farmed it all, and you're still not done. So we can add a little bit more plots. So 2 people. What's that? 50. Let's go up to 64 because it looks nice. That seems keeps you busy. Water is holding steady. It'll go up actually. Or when we get through deserts and the like. We have 3 idlers. Stones looks like we'll show off. Pick some stones then. We're also short of wood. Go get some more wood. Choppy chop. Okay, they are starting to harvest these, so this looks like it's just keeping them busy enough at the minute. We do have a pantry, that's good. Gonna be very full up, surely. Let's just keep harvesting all the stones. Well, that's not a stone, that's a mushroom, which is what our little Onbu friend eats. Okay, we have plenty of wood for just now. That's good. Aha! So we've done the... We now have a doctor. So let's have a look at the research tree. So what can we go next? Yeah, we can certainly do a hornblower. And I'm probably going to do this week because I want to get to the scavenge hut so we can start going out onto the world map and grabbing things. And then we're probably going to want to go... Maybe quarry sawmill, just get a steady income. Yeah... Sure, we'll go hornblower first then. Okay, this is good. We've got our stonecutter up, our carpenter up. And a village doctor. So, well, we need to get this guy gone. So let's use it's a really nice priority tool here. You can say to people, hey, this is what I want done next. And this, it does work very well. Especially when you've got like, lots and lots of harvesting jobs flagged and you're like, well, these are the ones which are actually really important to me. Okay, you need some plots, so let's plot some plots. Let's see. Go at the back then, so that's by the storage place. Well, something like that. Go make me some herbs. Again, it's going to use water, so we have to keep an eye on that. We can also build ourselves a doctor, which does need slabs and stone. Let's put a doctor up near our people, I think. Good, and I'm going to tell you are more important than kitchen. We're probably going to run out of wood next. Let's go harvest some wood. How's our food doing? Not super great. It was a nice big berry patch there, but I'm maybe going to leave that one alone because I think maybe we could plop a berry gatherer because this one's actually not super efficient. We'll have a look at that in a minute and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Oh, zoomed out too far. Zoom back in, please. So if we... Right, this tool. Look at our berry man. 41% efficiency. And that's just through number of berry bushes. Maybe we're going to move you. What if I Built a berry bush. Berry bush, but a berry harvester. Like here. A lot more berries in your vicinity. That would eat 2, but get me 2. It's more central, so I'm gonna do it for, I don't know, limited reasons I can think of, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Right. Oh, I don't want to chop down that. There is, yeah. That's fine. And we're gonna say we'll demolish this guy, and then we'll just harvest these ones. There we go. It's actually useful to let, because they will grow, you'll see little berry bushes and they pop up, so let them get to a nice thick clump before you put down a berry collector, because it does seem to be when you're gathering from them, they don't start to grow and spread as much. But we also have a farm. Okay, next research. Wow, we'll have to build that one done quick. Scavenger hut? Absolutely. So we can see our Ombu here is super sleepy. So we haven't seen any sleeping spots. Ah, here's what I was talking about. Crossroads. We went through this crossroad, just breezed through it. We can't direct the guy because we don't have a hornblower. Oh, super sleepy Ombu's gone to sleep. Ah, I accused that. Love it. Right, we'll plan ourselves a hornblower up at the front, so we can go toot toot. Let's go right down here, I think is good. We can build ourselves a... So, well, we're gonna have to, let's not go crazy. At some point we want to put a quarry beside that. There you go, that'll do. Cool. Failing to click a square. Right, what do we need for this? Planks and slabs. We're slowly getting there, slowly getting there. Okay, you are now up to 113%. That's what I'm talking about. All the berries, my man, all the berries. Our kitchen is getting built. Fantastic. We might want 2 kitchens, actually. We shall see. And the reason for that is because each one does something. So let's see, we've got recipes for beet soup and berry muesli. So it turns 3 food into 4 food. So there you go. So it's an extra. I mean, that's actually making your food go 33% longer. Cannot argue with that, my friends. We have 0 idlers. Do we have any harvesting jobs set up? Not really, which means I think we're just full. And this is something I did run into in my first playthroughs, where you had to like balance who was working where. So I did tend to somewhat run out of people for all my jobs. I am also going to want... We have no trees. Get all chop down all these trees, please. And we've got no rocks. Can we collect all these rocks, please? We're going to need to go for that quarry next, I think. Because we're running out of rocks. Let's see, harvest all this stuff as well. Okay. People busy for days. Right, Onbu kitchen. I mean, yes, but no. Build the research tree. You want me to get that, but I want these things. So we're going to go hut, warehouse, quarry. Now you can, fantastically, just queue things up. Click, click. And now we have a big queue of 4 things. It doesn't pop up quite as explosively when you've finished researching that, but it will still flag on the side here, so it still lets you know when you've done one and moves on to next. Now I would like my scavengers, please. Where are they? Oh, is that what I'm researching right now? No, I'm researching the hut. Yeah, scavenger hut. So these guys have to go to the edge of the world. Yeah, let's put them out here with our horn. I can get behind that. And hey, we've got our first berry muesli, so that's going to make our food go a little bit further. And our food is indeed increasing. Beautiful. You have a out in the map. So there's these nodes you can go visit. So there's obviously quarry for stone, forests can get us food or wood, settlements can get us people, as well as resources, and mines can get you iron ore. That's how you kind of, so getting scavengers up nice and early I think is pretty worthwhile. Alright, let's kick things forward. I just need my people to gather stuff. We could, I'm going to have one less doctor right now. I need the scavengers more than anything else. Two there, but two there. I could always dial back slightly on my herbalists. I don't know, I'll wait until we've got a batch. Oh! We've woken up. He's off. Ah, and look, okay. Now we have commands. We can tell him to lie down, tell him to walk, we can tell him to run. So that's handy if you're heading towards a toxic cloud, just kind of get through it. And if he's tired, we can tell him to rest. Let's see if there's a feeding bit comes up. Wait and see. Do I have more than 30 of anything? Just water, which is fine. Ah, scavengers are up. Beautiful. Now we can open our map and we can tell them to go do stuff. So we can say, hey, why don't you guys go? Interrupt my flow. Ah, we're coming here. Okay, hang on. Hold the phone. Gotta get to work. Okay. Now we can open the map and say, hey, why don't we head over here and see if we can get some new villagers, just like that. Okay, we have seen poison spores on the horizon. Not so good. We do have a doctor. But we are going to want to look at decontamination as well. And medicine for our poor Onbu. Yeah, we just need more people. With all these things, you always like to have... You probably always want to have a couple of idlers kicking about. We do have huts now, so we can move out from our tent city. Kind of the land of the hut. So they do for what? 6 people. So if I do 1, 2, 3, and then we can destroy some huts and build some of these guys in there. Oh yes. Lovely jubbly. And that makes people more productive as well. There's one hut up, so we can start destroying these things. Hey, and our scavenging brought back 3 workers. Excellent. Right, Onbu's still rocking and rolling. So we're heading towards a crossroads. So we can choose a direction. He might ignore us, but we can try. Now there are people north. We'll have to look when we get a bit closer. The only danger I found is it's quite easy to kind of fly through these things if you're not paying attention. Which, you know, is something I do quite a lot. Oh, but I should have done. Scavengers came back, so let's... Oh, it's not really fun to go. Well, send it, go out here. We're in a slightly devoid part of the world at the minute. Research of them warehouses, excellent. We are out of stones. So let's harvest what little is left on the top of our friend here. Looks like they do spawn as well. So you get a little trickle of supply. Right, I'm gonna say there's nothing really here that I can see. But let's say, why don't we go south? That's what we've set our Onbu. The real question is he going to listen? And the answer is... Oh. Yeah, yes, he listened. Cool. Alright. Got trees, got stones. Things are going okay. You're running out of berries, so why don't you switch over to beet soup? You guys are back from your mushrooms, so let's go and let's more people, please. As ever, People's what makes the world go round. I probably want another worker post, another couple of worker posts to be honest. So I'll stick them down. They'll scoop up, they do the harvesting, but they also do the building and they do the gathering. Although I could potentially just increase the number of people working here. We shall see. Aha! So we've got some new nomads have joined us, and the two of them are sick. But luckily for us, we followed the game's advice and we got a doctor up and running, so he's going to run off with some herbs to heal the sick. Here he goes. Ta-da! Awesome. I sent my expedition out again. I did. So yeah, here we're gonna see we're gonna want our ombu to try and lie down and have a nap. From this one. Sweet. Our dudes came back with some more people. We are a bit short of stone. Stone would be nice. That would get some water. We don't really need water or iron at the minute. Yeah, let's go for stone. We're going to let our ombu head to this bit and see if we can't get him to lie down. I'm curious to see, because I didn't notice it last time, whether this view changes as well. I think it does. Let's drop the speed down to see 2 times for just now. They're just about there, and oh, he's done it himself. You doesn't really get a change in here, which would be quite nice, but it's gonna be. Oh, we've done quarry blueprints. Love it. That is really handy. Where are you, quarry? Here. Can't see for looking. Let's put ourselves a quarry right there. Awesome. Still have 0 idlers though. We've got nothing flagged for harvest, so that's not a great sign. We also need some more trees. Trees we should chop down. Probably just these ones. Grab some berries while we're at it. I'm going to say just go down to 1 herbless. We have a lot of herbs. Then we'll maybe have to see if we can get our ombu. We'll need to get our mushroom farm and our ombu kitchen and our ombu catapult. See if we can start feeding our beast because he's getting hungry, and that just won't do. Now I would like to try and okay, we're not going to get there. I would have liked to got through our first poison spore event this episode, so you guys get to see that because that's quite a key part of the game. However, that is us at almost half an hour already, and as much as I'm having fun with this, I've got to try and be reasonable with these video lengths. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a cut in here. I must say I'm really enjoying this game. I love the concept. I love the fact you've got a massive creature that you live on and get to look after. And there's huge amounts of content, despite the fact it's just a demo, so I'm pretty excited to see what it looks like at full release. However, I will be back. We're going to do at least 1 more video on this so we can look at the slightly later game. Specifically, I really want to cover the kind of toxicity stuff because that's quite a big aspect, so do come back and have a look at that. In the meantime, I have been Requin87, so please do check the links below for my own YouTube and Twitch, where I cover probably a slightly deeper end of the strategy world. And thanks again for WeBuildPixel for hosting me. Do check out the rest of their content, both on the YouTube and on their website. And as ever, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all in the next one.